My name is Tom Mauser. My son Daniel was one of the victims at Columbine High School.
My son Ross was killed at the Virginia Tech massacre.
Phyllis Schneck, who was killed in Tucson, Arizona, was a former member of our congregation.
34, the number of people killed by gun violence every day, and the number of people who told their stories, alongside New York City Mayor Mike Bloomberg and Martin Luther King III, whose father was shot and killed 43 years ago this April.
I would like to think that between my dad's assassination and Senator Robert Kennedy, at least began the process of Congress thinking about putting some legislation on the books.
6 months after King was assassinated, President Lyndon Johnson signed the Gun Control Act of 1968, making it illegal for criminals, drug addicts, and those with psychiatric problems to purchase guns. 12 years after John Hinckley tried to kill President Reagan, the Brady Bill became law in 1993 and added a national database for criminal background checks.
There are federal gun laws that say you can't sell guns to minors, you can't sell guns to deranged people, you can't sell guns to drug dealers, you can't sell guns to criminals. There is also a requirement that a background check is done before you sell a gun. The trouble is there's no money to enforce it, and there are loopholes.
So you think the laws that currently exist are enough, or do new laws need to be passed?
You can always have more laws, but if you don't enforce the ones in the books, there's no reason to go and have an additional laws that everybody feels good, everybody beats their chest and says, see, I did something. We had somebody at Fort Hood, if you remember, who killed a bunch of people. The FBI knew he was a problem, didn't tell the Army. In Tucson, the Army turned down this alleged shooter because he was a drug user, but they didn't tell the FBI, so they could have done something about it.
While some states like California, New York, and Virginia have reported tens of thousands of names to the national database, 18 states have reported fewer than 100, and 10 states have reported none at all. What should the consequences be if states don't comply?
Well, the federal government has a program where the states qualify for $15 million total, and so the amount per state is meaningless. The bottom line is if we have a federal law that gets enforced, states will comply. We allow people to buy guns that we will not allow to get on an airplane. Just think about that. We'll let them on your street where your kids are walking and unfortunately contribute to the number 34 every day.